I'm wearing a dust mask at the moment. Oh, I think I heard someone before. Gonna turn on this fan, get some air going. So I just wanted to kind of finish up with what we were talking a little bit about earlier. And now that we're resituated, just want to show you guys. Okay, so this, in case you guys didn't know, is a wall. So before I go ahead and paint this, I'm actually debating on whether I'm going to show you guys how to cut today or not. But I want to run this disc sander across it, make sure I'm trying to get as much as I possibly can, getting as much of this stuff as I can off. That's not going to come off until I get a scraper. So you guys probably, I don't think can see it. Here, let me walk over to see what you guys can see. Not a whole lot. That's my shadow. Okay, so you can now see some of this waviness and stuff right here. That's what I was trying to get off, as well as just trying to get off all this other. Now when you push, you want to twist. Am I even in focus? You want to twist. So you're pushing and you're twisting, that way it won't get stuck. Now this here, all that right there, that's a little bit too much for just doing this here, because it covers a bigger surface area, honestly. It's 6 or 9 inches. But I don't know how bad it is. I'll either grab my 5-in-1 tool, and I'll go across that. See if you guys can't get that in focus a little better. Yeah. And I'll try and scrape it. No, I definitely can't prime. Yeah, so this is the other thing I've been kind of running into a lot on this job. It's just the previous person that painted, the owner who supposedly flipped the property, did not do a very good job by any means. And it's just shortcut after shortcut after shortcut. That's a prime example. Because when I scraped it, it's just tape. But like, why wouldn't you take the extra second and pull the tape off the wall? You know? That's the kind of stuff that, you know, it's just so cheap. Yeah, this is... Yeah, so... Yeah, it sucks that happened. But I can show you... I'm going to try and finish sanding out the rest of this gig. I'm going to try and finish sanding out the rest of this wall with you guys. And I'll show you for that spot what I'll do in a couple minutes. Back this up. Throw you guys. Throw you guys over here. In fact, I'm going to actually spin you guys around so I can keep an awesome eye on you guys for a little bit. Actually, let's get you out of the... Let's get the dead wires out of the shot. But yeah, so I'm just going to sand the rest of this now. Obviously, I can't roll it. I have to fix that now. I'm going to have to lay some compound on top to smooth it out some. This has to come off. There's a blue spot there, so it's just, there's too many things that I'm not going to be able to roll this wall today. So what I'm looking to do is just go across the top, keep twisting the sander. All this stuff that's kind of white is a good thing, because if you keep hitting out the wall, those footers on the wall. Right here, you guys probably can't see, but they're a little bit too aggressive. I can't get them with this sander because it takes it to the surface area. I just try to keep track of what I've done, what I haven't done. I just try to keep moving forward and twisting and moving and twisting and moving it. And I just keep going over it until I don't feel like resistance, you know, maybe that's nice and smooth. Whatever paint color they pick, the previous owner, it's just not a good color. Like, it's just like, this paint, whatever it's made of, just almost every cup or every mark and stuff the whole way through. So right there is a rough spot, so I'm going to keep going over it a few times, you know? And then we go over here, finish out the wall, another rough spot. Up and down, double check. And you want to do this between every coat that you do. That's how you keep your walls nice and clean and prepped and ready to go. I'm going to go grab my extension cord and I'm going to show you how I'm going to tackle that corner. The electrical drawing so many outlets that actually work right now. Temporary disconnected that. So we'll plug into the fridge. All right, I got it. So what I have here is a little 5-inch electric die grinder. It's just a cheap Walmart one, 5 inches. Gets that kind of stuff done pretty quick. I used to use it, oh geez, my shadow scared me. I used to use it a lot more in doing like auto body work and stuff, but when I used to do that more regular basis. So just over time I stopped doing auto body work. I mean, it's not that I didn't enjoy it. I had a lot of projects and I was starting to make a name for myself doing that kind of stuff. But it's just, I don't know, there wasn't a ton of money to be made, so you had to make a living sometimes. To not drop your pole on a lot of electrical outlets. So for this, you just turn it on. Go over real quick. You have to keep it moving, otherwise it's going to run the hole. I was going to try and talk over this, but so for all you that are wondering why I was going like this with my right hand, I was trying to feel for like divots like this, trying to feel, make sure the wall is decently smooth. There's only so much I can do because of the texture. It's been painted and painted and painted and painted for like since whenever this place was built. Who knows how long that's been. I need to get this mask off so I can actually see what, so my glasses get unsteamed. If you are cheap like me and you buy decent masks and you're going to reuse them, which there's nothing wrong with, make sure you keep them face down. Put them like this, dust gets inside. Then you have an allergy attack and who knows what you're breathing in at that point. So I always like to set them down. Today I'm going to set it on my coffee mug. Let's check out these comments real quick. Hello, all fired up. I haven't heard from you in a while. How you been all fired up? Steven, how's it going? Think about doing more of these little lives and what I'm working on type of stuff. But yeah, so now I'll switch back to the disc. I want to try and finish up this wall. It's just that little bit there. Oops, that is definitely not tightening. That is definitely a loosing. There we go. I'm going to try and finish up the rest of this wall. And let's see what time it is. 11:15. So with that being said, I got a little more time left. I can show you guys a little bit about how it's cut. So right here again, okay, so there's a bunch, actually this is a good example of what I'm talking about. They did a stucco repair. And it's a more up-to-date one. Actually, I'm not sure if it's this live or the last one. Zoom in some. Zoom in some. So it's kind of hard to see, but you can see the ridges, like right here. You see a massive ridge right here. You see all these ridges and all this stuff. What they're trying to do is match the texture. This will all have to be gone over with the DA. Like my disc sander isn't going to pull that off, so I have to use the Palmer or the DA, whatever you want to call it, to go over all that to smooth it out. And I'll show you another thing. It tells you you're working in an old house if it comes up. You see the corner right there and how it's all like it's even curved in a little bit. That's not because the house is not straight. I mean, it could be out square. I mean, I don't know, but just the stucco there is, the stucco there is just making it look like it's unsquare. So you only have so many options there. I'll probably just fill in like the worst of it, and and just go from there. So Steven's asking, he says he's doing good. He says, am I going to keep the same color? No, the client decided they liked one of my other units and how I painted it, and I showed them. So this will end up being like a bluish gray, or a light bluish gray. It's going to really brighten this up a lot. Yeah, this is almost like battleship gray. It's kind of dark. What else are you saying? Do they still sell the panel for above? I'm not sure what you're referring. Oh, the drop ceilings? Oh, the electricians still doing work and stuff. I think they're in the kitchen. I think he put all the panels that he had to move in the kitchen. And there's a couple that are above me, and by above me, I'm not talking about the ones you can see. Like, some of them, he just kind of like lifted up and just scooted to the side. So like, I'm sure like probably smaller ones are just above my head. I know I saw a couple you can see one hanging out over there a little bit, so yeah. So I kind of wish I would have known I needed the DA for that, because I would have taken off my mask knowing that. So what I might do instead is, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to resituate this whole thing a little bit, put you guys over there, and we'll just do the edging that I can do now and go from there. I think that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. Shove you guys. Actually, I want you guys close to the ladder, because I want to show you guys something. Because you may be wondering, being like, Jack, you're doing it wrong. Oh my gosh, there's no tape. No tape. Oh my gosh, what are you doing, Jack? You're going to ruin it. Let me show you. Let me show you. As I blind myself walking straight into the light. I don't even know why I have this sitting on the ladder. It doesn't really matter. Just remember, it's all fun and games until it's not fun and games, and then it's just fun and games. I have to try and entertain you guys a little bit at least while I'm not in focus. My little desk. Okay, so you know what? Here's a gripe I have. I'm going to go off topic here for a second. I'm not sure if you guys can see me or not. These mugs here, yeah, they're cute, they're adorable. Oh, look, it's a bell shape. It's so cute. These are the worst damn mugs ever, especially like the mouthpiece doesn't close. These are the worst mugs ever. Like, they're good if you're going to go to a campsite and you're hanging out in the morning, you want your morning coffee and stuff. Yeah, they're nice, but they don't even fit in the cup holders. They don't fit in the cup holders in my vehicle, that they fall down because they're too damn top heavy. They hold the heat in a little too well, because it's like, Like, I drove half an hour to get here, and I couldn't drink my coffee for another 15, 20 minutes afterwards. It's a cheap insulation. Like why is it holding the heat in so low? Drives me crazy. That's why I keep bringing it to all the job sites with me. I'm hoping that maybe someday I'll accidentally leave it on one, and I won't ask for it back. I'm not going to throw it away, because that's, you know, stupid. So, actually, before I climb up here, and on my fatness, put all this stuff, because I can see it's all ready wants to fall. All this stuff over there, right underneath you guys. I can trust you guys to hold my stuff, right? You seem like a pretty trustworthy group. Make sure my pants are up. I don't want you seeing my crack. So I'm not sure how well you guys will be able to see this or not. Probably almost none. Let me, again, move you guys so you can better see what I'm talking about. Now the light is giving me a hot spot. See, there's a lot more to painting than people think. It's not just slapping it on a wall. We have to deal with bad jokes too. You want to load up your brush nice and good. Now what I do, once it stops dripping now, is I put it down below. You guys aren't focused in there. Switch hands, move around, get you guys situated. So I set it down below this, whatever it is, whether it's the ceiling or whatever it is. Below it, you put the pressure down, and you kind of get the bristles of fan a little bit, and you work it up. Like I'm over accentuating it so you can see, but then like, you see how it turns out? Nothing's on the ceiling. Actually, the only paint that's on the ceiling is from the previous person because they suck so bad at it. And I probably should have did this beforehand. There's a big old cobweb full of goobers up there, so let's get that taken, knock that down. Big old cobweb full of goobers, la 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 la. This is season to be weird, la 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 la. You guys probably wonder if this is ever going to end. No, it's not. That's what I do. There we go. That's all cleaned up. So I'll show you guys again for all two of you. So Stephen's asking, do I have difficulty renting in October? So yes and no. There's less people available. So here's the thing, okay? You're not in the winter months, and it's not unbearable to try and find people to rent in the month of October. What you are seeing, though, is, at least in this market, is the fact that there's a lot less available as far as units, and a lot of the good tenants are sometimes gone. But what the good tenants that are currently on the market don't have is a lot of options. So you end up can charge a little bit more. That's kind of what I've done in the past, is I leave my rent set to where they are, charging slightly higher than market value because I can do that. And then what ends up happening is the fact that they don't have any options. They end up getting from me. Worst case scenario, I just settle on market rent, which isn't the end of the world. Now, the question is for you, can you outhold for the vacancies and stuff? Like, can you is that something you're able to do? And so that's kind of like where I'm at now with my one unit, is I'm trying to get it. I dropped it actually close to $75 because it's just this market hasn't been the best for trying to get people interested. I'm not sure if I lost you guys or not there for a minute, but what I was saying is, so you can keep going at the market rent and work your way towards, October is probably the best month because it's the last month that people are going to want to move in. November is okay, but like people are getting geared up for the holidays. December, January, and February are much harder months because it's winter. No one wants to move in the winter, so that's something you guys have to think about. So anyway, actually, let's get rid of that 5-in-1 tool wherever it fell off. Yeah, I just can't believe like how bad the previous person really was at what they were doing. Like, if you don't know what you're doing, don't try to do it on a cheap and do it yourself, because you just make more mess for the next person to come by. If I can get this off, I can roll this wall today. This is really what I'm trying to do, is get this room in particular done. I really want to try and get this room done with the primer. Because next week, what I would like to do is next week I would like to try and get the kitchen done. Yeah, there we go. So that's all done. Yeah, so I have to get the primer in this room laid today, the whole way around before I leave. I have to go cut 2 lawns, but like it's just, everything's just so stinking soaked, dude. It's ridiculous. It's just so ridiculous. It's like the weather doesn't care about what you have to do. It just doesn't. I don't know. But like, I have left messages for Mother Nature to like be like, hey, these days of the week, can you not have it rain? And it's just like, haha, it's gonna rain on you. Haha, sunshine the rest of the week, but you can't do anything. About ready to start telling her the wrong days. You'll find out too that as you're doing this, that you'll have a preference on which hand you want to do. I prefer a lot of times depending on how I'm standing on the ladder, that my preferred arm changes. The reason why I'm bringing this down a little bit further is because when I go to roll this, I don't want to be so close up to the drop sealant. That's the loose. You guys go over there. Now you guys are supposed to be watching my stuff, and you guys are over there now. How are you going to keep an eye on it? Come on. I'm trying to do you guys a favor. You can't even keep an eye on my stuff now. What's the matter? Well, if you okay? And here's another little trick. And I'm personally, I'm just not fast enough to do this. If you can get to the point where you can edge this, like I'm doing now, and come back with the roller and paint it, I'm doing primer. That's why I don't care if it's a little streaky, it's all gonna get covered here, you know? If you can come back and roll this as this is still wet, this will match this instead of it being acting as like a second coat and is popping more. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, it's more important that when you roll the paint, that you try to get as high as you can without going too cray-cray with it. You always want to keep a sanding block on you. What is that? I'm thinking about buying, well, I shouldn't say I'm thinking about, I'm going to buy another ladder. I like this ladder a lot, it's great for what I do. 90% of the time I'm probably going to use this ladder, but they're just, I can't use it on stairwells. Like, it's just, it's too dangerous. Yeah, this isn't working. Oh, I mean, it's working. It's going to take me all day. Oh. Try to show you guys what I'm looking at. Well, there's a couple lumps right there. And the extension cord just keeps wanting to wrap around that leg. And now it's gone. All the ridges are gone. What do you know? They're gone. Bye-bye. Oh. I knew I heard something fall. It was a paintbrush. Remember wondering why I'm not freaking out right now? Like, oh my gosh. Because unlike me being the daredevil, the dashing daredevil that I am, and not taping things off, I do lay a tarp down. So it just hit the tarp. So I'm going to finish up this section of edging. And then you roll it up, and you roll it over, and you do a little bit of that, and you drop it down, give it a little side bristle. Same thing again. Edge it up. Drag it over. Sing the song. Back and forth with paintbrush goes. Drag it over, nice and even. Try to feather it out a little bit, do what you did last. And yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing until I cut another video, which is scheduled at noon today. Or I should say a meeting I have at noon today, which I forgot and double booked, but I'm rescheduling with the one so I can do the video with the other. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and end this. I have the rest of this room to do. It is 11 o'clock. I have about, I don't know, to about 11:45 to try and get as much done as I can. And I'm not going to keep playing with camera angles and stuff. I want to try and get this room done before I go today. Because I have to be somewhere at 5:30 and clean up and ready to go. So, until next time, thank you for tuning in to Jack's Business Talk.